Welcome to InsideTheHive.tv podcast, the show that takes you into the world of bees. I'm Dr. Umberto Boncristiani. In today's episode, I talk with Mr. Kevin Easton, president of the Palm Beach County Beekeepers Association. We discuss how he entered into the beekeeping world and the exciting upcoming event, the South Florida Honeybee Expo on February 16 to 17. And I hope you enjoy it. Kevin, finally we're making this. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine here. Both are doing real well here.
How's the weather? I think you're going to be jealous.
Yes, the weather is perfect here right now. We are getting some little sprinkles here and there, but I've been painting all day. I haven't got a chance to play with the bees because it's been raining, but life is good right now.
It is super cold here, so I'm glad a lot of my followers are going to be jealous of you right there in South Florida, enjoying the good weather. Kevin, I want to start this conversation by asking you, it's a kind of, how do you get into bees? You know, people are always curious about the people, how they get into bees, what's their story?
Well, that one's pretty easy here. I think in 2009, I had some bees move into my soffit right outside my door here, and I was just getting ready to retire. So I watched the bees for a little bit, and finally my friend said, "Oh, you got bees over there. We're not coming over to your house anymore because we're afraid." And I said, "Well, I got this guy named Sonny. He was a live bee removal expert, and I watched him do it. And I said, 'Boy, I hate to lose these bees.' I says, 'Maybe I'd like to keep them if possible.' And he says, 'Well, I've got a box. I'll put the box over there.' He says, 'I can't guarantee it because, you know, you're supposed to move the bees 2 feet or 2 miles, but we moved them probably about 15 feet. And put some brush around them and stuff, and I'll be darned if they stayed." So I ended up being a beekeeper, and I joined Palm Beach County Beekeepers to learn a little bit more about it. And the next year, I'll be darned, I had a swarm up in the tree right above that hive. So I ended up catching that swarm, and I was on my way to becoming a full-fledged beekeeper and bee removal person.
Wow. So the bees came to you then? And
yes, they did.
They came to you and they chose you to become a beekeeper, and now all involved in all kind of aspects of beekeeping, including being the president of a very big and active association, if I remember correctly. I've been there giving a talk. You guys are real good and organized and have very strong meetings. Can you tell me a little bit more about the Beekeeping Association?
Oh, yeah. I started, like I say, back in 2009. I worked my way up. I ended up being the secretary for a year or so, then the vice president. Ended up being the president in 2015, right after we had the FSBA state like Expo that we had here. And I was the president for 2015, 16, and 17. I've been the vice president ever since. This is my calling here, I guess. And bees have found me, and I volunteered to be the president again this year. We got some exciting things going on, like the Expo, the fair, and I just love the outreach programs. I try to do as many as I can. I don't know if you know, I'm a master beekeeper here, graduated from the University of Gainesville here in Florida, U of F. And like I say, we're just, the club is doing great. We've got a new board here, and we're excited. I'm really glad to have all these people here that are involved. The club is doing fantastic. We just had 80 people here from that we picked up, probably about 40 from the South Florida Fair that wanted to come and see what we were doing in our club. We had our state inspector there, Angie Thule, and she went over the regulations. And then we talked about hives and different things like that the people might want to be interested in starting. We're really growing. It's just something. I'm also a member of the Chautauqua County Beekeepers. So I get a little touch of the North and the South here. Okay. I've got a couple of hives up there, and hopefully they're going to survive. Last year they did. We'll see how it all goes here, but I just love the bees and love to be involved.
You're getting expanding. Can you tell me a little bit of the history of the association? You know, the people from the past, how the people get together and decide, okay, let's have an association here. Do you know a little bit of the history of this whole?
I sure do. Yes. That's her name was Uta. I believe it was Uta Hartman that started this thing here. And this was, we're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. So we started in 1974, and this is a big anniversary year for us, so we're hoping to highlight that. I know that there was a few presidents before me. Al Salbeck was one. I'm sure viewers have heard of him. We've had Brendan Horn, Leonard Kahn, Lee Wisnowski, Eric Baxter. These are all different presidents that we've had over the years. We're just trying to keep this club going here, and it's pretty exciting to be leading the team here into this expo here. This is our second expo that we've had. The first one we had just before Hurricane Ian almost took us out. I'm sure it took a lot of beekeepers out. We're sorry about that. But that hurricane gave me the white hairs that I have today here, because we had everybody flying in, and that hurricane just turned and went up the West Coast. It didn't come across and get us. So we were very lucky about that. This second expo should be just even twice as good.
Well, good to hear that. So how many people do you have in the association today?
Well, right now, I think we're pushing 150 paid members. There's a lot of people that want to join. And, we have this little problem that the people, after they stay in our club for about 5 or 6 years or so, it seems like they attrition out because they've learned what they could, or they've gotten busy other lives, and beekeeping's too hard. Maybe, I'm not sure what it is. It's not the easiest life to, be a beekeeper. And, you just, you got to go with it and enjoy it. If not, then, you probably will, only make it 3 or 4 years, if that,
I know. It is hard at the beginning to learn and to keep it consistent. And it's not for everybody, right? Beekeeping is not for everybody.
No. And we need more metros all the time. We're looking for people to come out and help us. It's like, say, you got to help the other people so that they don't fail and then give up, because everybody fails a little bit when you're beekeeping,
I still failing.
So, it just happens, so, we do what we can do to try and teach the people the right way to do things. And we're constantly learning, that's why we have this expo, it's like we want to bring in the brightest and the newest people that know what's going on. So,
talking about the expo, what's the name of the expo, when it's going to happen, and how people can get in?
It's the South Florida Honeybee Expo.
Here we go.
Right there. There you go. See that? That's that. You can have one of these shirts too if you attend. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have the 50th anniversary. I don't know if you can see that right there.
Yeah, 50 years. Yeah, I can see it.
First, boy, I'll tell you. Well, but this expo, I don't. You can go on online and actually check out all the different speakers that we have. I don't have that information. I could probably pull it up, but I'm not that computer savvy here. I don't want to.
Don't worry about it. I will leave everything that we're going to talk about here in the link in the description of this video, so everybody can have the links so they can click and find out exactly what's happening and where to go and all the information. But how people got organized? Why you have a South Florida Honeybee Expo? How the idea come up and why?
Well, we've always we've had expo, or not expos, but they're like workshops and training sessions here before. I remember when I started, I think Jim Chapman, one of our old presidents, had a nice little thing going on over at the Pine Jog. Education is key to learning. And we do go to these Gainesville events here when University of Florida has them, but during COVID, those things kind of dropped by the wayside, and everybody's thirsty. Nobody wanted to drive up to Gainesville. So we said, why not have an expo here? We've got a lot of people that want to learn. And so that's what, we kind of put this thing together so that we could get better speakers and learn about this stuff. And people didn't have to travel all the way to Gainesville just to, go to classes.
I see. That makes a lot of sense. Let me share my screen here just 1 second, because I can, and you can guide me a little bit with the information here. Here we go.
Sure.
So here we are. Let me make it bigger here. Here we go. So where is going to be? Palm Beach County Beekeeper Association, February 16 to 17 of 2024.
That's going to be at the Palm Beach State College on PGA Boulevard.
Okay.
What a nice facility here. Last year we had it at the Loxahatchee campus, but they're rebuilding that. So we've got the opportunity to do it here at the PGA campus.
Oh, here we go. 3160 PGA Boulevard, Palm Beach Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's a nice place, if I remember.
Well, it's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. When I was at the University of Florida, traveling every single day, almost all over Florida, visiting beekeepers, I think I passed through this area and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Kevin, tell me about the tickets here. There is a $45 to $200. What's the differences here?
We have different. You'll have to look at the different prices, but we have a meet and greet that's $45 on that Friday, where the speakers will be there and you can talk to them, and we're gonna have some hors d'oeuvres and things like that. But we actually just opened up a one-day ticket price today.
Here we go.
Look at that. I know that Paula is usually taking care of that. I'm the president. I've got so many other.
I know. Yeah.
But
so many hands.
All right here in front of us. Yeah. So we can. I think that's what we discussed was $125, and then if you wanted to attend that Friday night, it would be $45 more for the meet and greet. But we have a lot of speakers there. I'm sure you'll pull them up later, but definitely worth the money for sure.
Okay, so yeah, there is lots of options here for everybody with different time and ways to enjoy the event. Let me close this. Okay, interesting. I am curious. If I had the time, I for sure I would be there, but I didn't know this on time actually. If I knew that before, I could schedule and prepare myself better. But I have plans already. Okay.
Well, it all happens, We're all busy people. Like I say, we were kind of trying to find a new time to do it because hurricane season just is not the best time and people can't get away. But even right now, it seems like people are always busy. But we hope that everyone joins us for this because it should be an exciting event.
Yes, I'm just right now seeing who is going to be there. So there is a lot of folks here. A lot of them, I know them very well. John's going to be there. Oh, I'm curious about his work. All right. So we have a lot of folks. Randy Oliver is going to be there. Juliana Rangel, very good researcher in Texas A&M. Kay Moreno is also going to be there. Nathan from Dayland, from the vaccine companies. Oh, Frank Rinkovich from USDA, Brandon Stanford, good friend of mine, Al Salopek, also good friend of mine. Yeah, you have a full house. Abe Westernville, yeah, very, very selective group of people you have here. I'm sure it's gonna be a great event.
I'm sure it's gonna be just awesome here. I can't wait to get it going on the 16th here. It should be exciting out there. We just cleaned up the apiary. We've got an apiary location, and we're going to move the bees in here next week. And yes, this is a hands-on gig for a lot of people. That there's also that one track. It's products of the hive or whatever, where you don't have to, just be a beekeeper. You can just figure out how to get yourself some wax or this and meet a beekeeper and use those byproducts to make yourself a little side business.
I know.
That's something that I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy, because not everybody wants to be a beekeeper, but they sure like the products of the hive.
I'm sure. So it's going to have companies there too, right? So it's a full expo. We have companies selling all kinds of things. So
we have vendors coming in from all over. We can always use more vendors. Get a hold of us. We still got room, but I mean, it won't be as big as the 3,000 different vendors I got, or the 3,000 people up there at Cayman Reynolds event, but maybe someday we'll get half that far.
Here we go.
Florida in the wintertime is a nice place to be,
That's true. Well, I enjoyed this, so I'm going to promote this every time we have a new Bee Expo. I'll be happy to promote. If anybody knows, any kind of meetings, bee meetings, and one might help to promote it, please send me an email. I will be happy to do that. Kevin, let's talk a little bit more about things that you see in the south of Florida regarding beekeeping that get your attention. What what the philosophy of beekeeping that people in the south of Florida like the most? In your, you're involved with a lot of beekeepers there. In the beekeeping world, we have so many different kind of styles and philosophies. In your opinion, what's the dominance about philosophy of beekeeping there in South Florida?
Well, everybody gets to do it 24/7 around here, 365 days a year, pretty much. The wintertime, of course, we may have to feed the bees a little bit if you don't have a strong colony. But everybody that I know, everybody just varies. It's like a lot of people carry Langstroths, a lot of people like the Sam Comfort boxes.
It's very well divided. There is no one single the south of Florida. We have much more the people that do not treat bees, or is everything equal there? You can find everything.
People are starting to treat their bees a little bit more because they understand the importance of this varroa destructor here. That's vectoring all kind of viruses to everybody, to all the other beekeepers in their hives.
Yeah.
So it is a problem that's ongoing. We wish we could figure that out there. I mean, Sam Ramsey, he did a good job of figuring out it was from the fat, but now we got to figure out what to put in that fat so that we can kill that varroa destructor without killing the bee.
That's one way to do. But I just recorded another episode of my podcast. Researcher in Canada showing that the fat body only occurs when the bees are adult bees. If the varroa mite feeds on the pupa, they feed on hemolymph a lot.
Gotcha.
So we are learning a lot of new things about that. So
great. Hey, that's great. Yes, more research is definitely needed. We could use the University of Florida to help us with more research all the time. That's one thing I know our club stood behind, and we tried to get that bee lab going, and we worked very hard, donating a lot of money to get that thing going. I'm excited to have it going, but we sure could use the state to kick in a bunch more money to help us out with more research projects.
I'm sure the Florida lab appreciate all the efforts of all the beekeepers in Florida. That was a fantastic action of the whole community to help to build a $5-point-something million facility for research. And I think that happens because of the mentality of Floridians regarding how important honeybee research is. So how involved were you in that aspect?
I say, we had workshops. I know we had Jennifer Holmes. She donated her whole one fund meeting when she came in and instructed us on how to make mead in one time. So that was we actually have donated a lot of money over the years to the Bee Lab, and we just it's a great thing. We just need to get them more funding. It's actually what we need. So, but the Bee College, it's a great place to have the Bee College. It's just that it's so far away. But I do attend them, and it's just not every time now. And again, it's a great place to learn.
It is a 6 hours drive from where you are.
Probably about 5 hours or so. But yeah, it's a pretty good little drive.
Yeah, I
done it a bunch of times, but again, it's I always look forward to the next one. Hope I have the time, because everybody's always busy.
I know.
If we had a plane, I'd fly up there and do every one of them, because I just love to learn that kind of thing. So.
Kevin, do you have any message for the people at home that is considering to attend the 2024 Honeybee Expo in Palm Beach County Beekeeper Association? If you have any message, now is the time.
Get your tickets now, folks. I hope it sells out real soon. But I'd love to see you there. So with the rest of the board, actually, I want to thank all the volunteers on the board, because this is something that, it doesn't just happen overnight. We've been planning this for over a year, since the last Expo. And guys like Vitaly Stashenko, who got us set up with the campus, and Paula Messer, my vice president, that does all the PR and stuff like that. It's just a huge undertaking. But again, I think it's necessary for, to teach the people and get the people together, because we need more beekeepers. I think, the average age of the beekeeper is 52 years old. And if we need to get some more young blood in there. And if not, like I say, people,
I know. Who knows what's going to happen? I saw those statistics. Yeah, the population of the beekeepers in U.S. is is in the older side, and we need to replace. Yep.
Oh yes, you are our speaker here next month, and we're looking forward to having you down.
We forgot about that.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Paul will remind you, but yes, you are definitely our speaker next month.
Yeah.
Wish you could have come down for the expo, but again, hopefully we'll be doing this again here.
I can't make the expo, but in March 1st, I'm going to be there giving a very interesting talk about the immunity of honeybees against viruses. So I think we're going to learn a lot of tricks how those viruses can find their way around and messed up with the immunity of honeybees, and how the bees protect themselves also against viruses. I think it's going to be an interesting lesson to everybody, and it's going to be March 1st.
It's going to be a great time there too, as well. We're looking forward to having you. If I could just give a shout out to all the South Florida Fair volunteers that actually went out there and worked it. It's a big undertaking. It's 17 days of trying to schedule volunteers and with the traffic and all the other concerns that we have out there. We did a great job. Again, it was all about the outreach. We reached, I don't know how many thousands of people and showed them our bees and talked about what it takes to be a beekeeper. And we talked about the expo. Again, it's a great event, for a learning, and those volunteers deserve to be appreciated.
I'm sure they are. All right, Kevin, it was a pleasure to be to you. It's going to be a pleasure to be there. And yeah, that was fun. And I see you soon. See you soon, March 1st.
Seeing you. Exactly. Thank you again. Have a great day.
You too.